God says, "My child, I am speaking to you now because time is no longer on your side. You have already been warned twice, and yet you have not moved with the urgency that heaven has been urging you to have. This is the third time, and there will not be a fourth. Archangel Michael stands here with me, his sword drawn, his voice trembling not from fear, but from the gravity of what is about to unfold. He says, pack your bags now. Do not wait until the morning. Do not tell yourself that tomorrow you will take action. Tomorrow at 9:31 p.m., something unexpected and dangerous will happen, and if you are not ready, you will be caught in it. My child, listen. This is not a vague sign. This is not a gentle nudge. This is a last hope, a final attempt to pull you away from the edge you cannot yet see but that heaven already sees clearly. The darkness has already begun to move toward your name, your home, your destiny. Archangel Michael says, I have been protecting you for years without you even knowing the extent of my battles for you. I have stood between you and the plans of those who wish to destroy you. I have intercepted arrows meant for your heart, words meant to crush your spirit, and traps laid at your feet to stop your progress. But now the enemy has changed their tactics. They are not approaching with noise. They are approaching in silence. That is why you don't feel the full danger yet, but heaven does. And I tell you, child, tomorrow at 9:31 p.m. something will be set in motion that will either break you or bless you depending on whether you listen right now. You cannot afford to delay. God says, when I speak, it is not to cause you fear but to give you preparation. Fear comes when you do nothing. Preparation brings peace. I am telling you now because the path in front of you has two doors, one you must open, and one you must never touch. The wrong choice will not be something you can undo in a day, a month, or even a year. The consequences would echo. Michael is pacing, his armor shining with a light that cuts through the gloom. He says, you are thinking maybe this is not for you, maybe this is just another message, maybe you can take it lightly. I am telling you with heaven as my witness. If you ignore this, I will have no authority to intervene when the appointed time comes. My orders are clear. This is the last warning. He pauses, his eyes burning with divine urgency. You think 9:31 p.m. tomorrow will be like any other evening, but I see the unseen. There will be a movement in the spiritual realm that will cause a ripple into your life in ways you cannot imagine. Something will shift, and if you are unprepared, it will be too late to move after it begins. God says, the danger is not in the loud noise. It is in the silence before the noise. Right now it is silent. That's why people around you may not sense anything, but you are not everyone. I have marked you for a reason. I have chosen you to hear this message because your destiny is too precious for me to let the enemy take it without giving you the choice to fight for it. I will not force you, my child. Love never forces. But I will tell you the truth. There are forces waiting for 9:31 p.m. tomorrow to open a gate you will not want opened. Michael says, you have been carrying burdens that are not even yours. You have been fighting battles that you should have already won. The reason some of your breakthroughs have been delayed is because something, or someone, has been working against you in the shadows, This is not to make you suspicious of everyone, but to open your eyes to the fact that your name has been mentioned in rooms you have never entered. Words have been spoken about you by lips you have never kissed. This is why I have been warning you. The third warning means the last warning. There will not be another before the event begins. God's voice becomes heavy, filled with an ache that only a father's heart can hold. My child, if you could see what I see, you would not hesitate for even one more minute. You would be packing already. You would be removing yourself from the coordinates where the arrow is aimed. You would be aligning yourself with my protection, which is already prepared for you. But protection is something you must choose to step into. You can stand under the shelter or outside of it. The storm will come either way. Where you stand will determine what happens to you when it arrives. Michael interrupts with intensity. There are those who think they can outsmart heaven's timing, who think they can delay action and still be saved in the last second. Do not be one of them. When 931 p.m. arrives, the spiritual transaction will have already happened, and you will either be inside the circle of safety or outside of it. No one will be able to pull you in afterward. Even I, with all my strength, cannot pull someone in who chose to remain out. I can only fight for those who give me permission to fight for them by obeying heaven's instructions. You have been chosen to receive this because there is still time, but that time is measured now not in days, but in hours. Heaven counts time differently. The earth will say you have a whole day left, but heaven says you have less than that to decide. And that is why this message is urgent. God says, pack your bags is not just about leaving a physical place, though for some of my children it will mean that. It is about removing yourself from an atmosphere, a connection, a habit, a pattern, a conversation, or a location that is about to be targeted. I am telling you where not to be tomorrow night. I am telling you where my angels will be stationed and where they will not. The difference between safety and danger will be a single choice. Michael's voice shakes now, not from fear, but from the grief of knowing some will not listen. I have been given orders to stand guard over you, but I cannot guard a door you leave wide open. The enemy will not knock. He will walk through if you do not close it tonight. This is why I am telling you to act now, not later. My patience for the enemy is gone, but my patience for disobedience is also at its end in this matter, because the Father has said, this is the last hope to save them. The heavens seem to grow quieter around you, as though everything in creation is waiting for your choice. God says, do not mistake my stillness for an action. The stillness before a storm is the final preparation. The angels are ready, but they await your yes. If you give your yes, they will move like fire through the darkness on your behalf. If you remain still, the storm will still come, but you will be in the open field when it hits. Michael leans close in the spirit, his voice dropping low but firm. You may think you can handle it if something happens. You may think you have faced worse, but you have never faced what is about to come at 9:31 p.m. tomorrow. This is not like before. This is a new tactic. It is subtle enough to bypass ordinary defenses, but not heaven's defense. If you are under it, you must be under it. That's why I'm shouting inside your spirit now. God says, every time I warn you, it is because I love you. Love warns. Love protects. Love does not sit quietly while danger approaches. I am not speaking to scare you. I am speaking to save you. But salvation requires movement. You cannot be saved by staying in the same place where the danger is aimed. And so, my child, the choice is before you now. This is not about tomorrow morning. This is about tonight. Heaven has already seen the clock. Heaven has already seen the event. And heaven is already prepared for you, if you prepare for it. Michael says, I will fight for you if you let me. But this is the last time you will hear me say it before the event begins. Choose now. Act now. Move now. It is not delay. Michael's eyes are fixed on you as if he can see every thought you're having, every doubt that flickers across your mind, every hesitation that tries to rise up in you. He says, do you think I have come here today to waste my breath? Do you think I speak so strongly because the matter is small? This is not about fear. This is about your survival. The enemy has already marked the time. 9:31 p.m. Tomorrow is not random. It is the exact moment when a door will be opened in the spiritual realm, a door that must not be opened for you. The enemy believes you will be standing in the wrong place when it swings open, but I have come to make sure you are not. He takes a deep breath, and for the first time you see that even an archangel can carry a heaviness in his heart when it comes to the people he guards. I have fought for you many times. But this time, if you do not step into the shelter prepared for you, my hands will be tied. I cannot drag you into safety. You must walk there willingly. God says, the reason you have been feeling restless lately, the reason your spirit has been uneasy even when your mind tells you everything is fine, is because your spirit already knows something is approaching. I have placed my warning inside of you before you even received this message. You have felt it in the middle of the night. You have felt it when you looked at certain people. You have felt it in the silence after certain conversations. This is not imagination. This is my spirit stirring in you so that when my message comes, you will recognize it as the truth. Michael steps forward again, his voice deep and unshakable. This is the third time. Do you understand what that means? It means that heaven's patience for delay is ending because heaven's timing cannot be changed. You cannot pray away the timing of what is coming. You can only prepare for it. You can only position yourself in the place where it will pass over you instead of through you. He raises his sword slightly, and you feel a wave of divine authority fill the room. The two previous warnings were to wake you. This one is to move you. If you stay still after this, I will have no further words for you until after the event. And by then, it will be too late to reverse certain things. God says, my child, listen carefully. The unexpected danger that is coming will be invisible at first. It will not look like danger. It will come dressed as something ordinary, an ordinary moment, an ordinary evening, an ordinary exchange. But inside of it will be a trigger that changes the course of things. That is why I am telling you now to remove yourself from the path of it. If you are not in position, it cannot touch you. If you are in position, it cannot miss you. Michael's tone grows even sharper, not to harm but to cut through the fog of doubt. You have people around you right now who have no idea what you are about to face. They are walking blind. They will give you advice that sounds logical but is deadly in this moment because they cannot see what I see. Do not follow their words. Follow heaven's words. I am giving you heaven's strategy, and that strategy is to move before the hour comes. God says, do you remember the times in your past when you wished you had acted sooner? The times when you ignored a feeling and later realized it was me trying to protect you? I am giving you another chance now to not repeat those moments. I am showing you the danger before it is visible. I am showing you the time down to the minute. I am telling you the exact urgency because I love you. But love is not love if it watches silently while harm approaches. Michael steps closer, the light of heaven reflecting off his armor, almost blinding in its purity. The enemy believes you will be in the wrong place tomorrow night. They have set their trap accordingly. They think you will be distracted, that you will shrug off this message, that you will decide to wait until later to act. That is why they are confident. But if you listen now, you will reverse their confidence into confusion. You will move out of range, and when the appointed time comes, they will aim their arrow and find you gone. They will have no target. God says, this is not just about survival. This is about destiny. The event at 9:31 p.m. has the power to delay your calling for years if you are in the wrong place. And yet, if you are in the right place, it will instead trigger a chain reaction of blessings. The same moment that could be used against you can be used for you if you are aligned with me. That is the choice before you now. Michael says, when heaven says pack your bags, it is not always about physical travel. It is about spiritual relocation. It means leaving the atmosphere of compromise. It means stepping out of the circle of certain people's influence. It means cutting off the access of those who are using your openness to study you for the wrong purposes. It means closing doors that are letting the enemy map out your next steps. God's voice carries both urgency and tenderness now. You have been asking me for a breakthrough. You have been telling me you are ready for your next season. My child, your next season cannot start if this moment destroys the foundation you are standing on. That is why I am protecting you now, because the blessings I have planned require you to be alive, whole, and free from the trap set for tomorrow night. Michael's voice softens, but the strength in it does not waver. I know you have heard warnings before. I know you have read many messages, but this is not like the others. The Father has given me permission to speak to you in this way because there is no more time for gentle nudges. This is the third and final call. You will either act tonight, or you will choose by inaction to face what will come. God says, there is an enemy who believes they know you well enough to predict your decisions. They believe they can count on your delay. Surprise them, my child. Choose differently this time. Move now. Remove yourself from the coordinates they have studied. Hide yourself in the shelter of my wings before the clock reaches that moment. Michael looks you straight in the soul. Do not mistake the stillness you feel right now for safety. This is the calm before a storm you have never faced before. I have fought storms on your behalf that you never knew existed, but this one requires your movement too. You must partner with heaven now. God says, the clock is already ticking. You can't hear it in the natural, but in the spiritual realm the countdown is loud. Every second you wait, the enemy's plan becomes more confident. Every second you move in obedience, my angels fortify your protection. Michael takes one last step forward, his voice now like a final seal on this moment. I will say it again so there is no confusion. Pack your bags spiritually and physically if needed. Remove yourself from the appointed place of danger. Do it tonight. This is the third warning. There will be no fourth. At 9:31 p.m. tomorrow, the line will be drawn and where you stand will decide what happens next. Michael does not move his eyes from yours because he knows even the smallest shift in your attention right now could cost you more than you realize. Do you think it is easy for me to speak like this? He asks, his voice trembling with a weight that comes only from a messenger who has seen what you have not. I have stood on battlefields in the spirit that would make the bravest warrior fall to their knees. I have seen the traps that have been set in your name. I have fought shadows that wore familiar faces just to get close enough to wound you. And I have won every time. But tomorrow at 9:31 p.m., the fight changes. It will no longer be enough for me to fight for you from a distance. I will need you to be positioned in the place the Father has marked for your safety. And if you are not there, my protection will not reach you in time. God says, my child, I do not give numbers without reason. 9:31 p.m. is not random. It is the exact second when the spiritual gate will open for either blessing or danger to step through. Your positioning will decide which one finds you. This is why I am not telling you to think about it for days or weeks. This is why the call is for now. The enemy believes you are distracted enough to miss this moment. They believe you will delay just long enough for them to carry out what they have planned. They do not expect you to act tonight. That is why you must act tonight. Michael's wings shift slightly, and the light from heaven pours over you in a warmth that carries both comfort and command. When I say pack your bags, I mean strip away everything that is giving the enemy access. If it is a place, leave it. If it is a person whose influence is pulling you into danger, step back. If it is a pattern of behavior that keeps you tied to the wrong timing, break it now. This is not the time for slow change. This is the time for decisive action. God says, I have watched over you from your first breath. I have intervened in ways you will not know until eternity. But my protection is not a prison. It does not force you to stay under it. You must choose to remain. I am speaking to you now because I see that tomorrow night you will be tempted to remain in a place I have not assigned for you. I see that you will be told everything is fine, that nothing is wrong, that you can relax. That is the very lullaby the enemy sings before the strike. Michael leans closer, and his voice lowers into something that feels like a vow. If you obey now, I will stand with my sword between you and the danger. I will block the path the enemy must take to reach you. I will ensure that the appointed moment passes and finds you untouched. But if you ignore me this time, the gate will open and you will be in its path. I will still love you, but I will not be able to stop the full force of what is coming. God's tone deepens, not in anger but in the kind of seriousness that stops your heart for a beat. The stillness tonight is deceptive. It feels like nothing is happening. It feels like there is no rush. That is the same stillness the Israelites felt the night before the Passover when the destroyer was already at the edge of the city but the streets were quiet. They had to follow my instructions completely to be passed over. Half obedience would have been death. This is that kind of moment for you. I am marking the time so you cannot say you didn't know. Michael's armor catches the light again and you see that it is dented, not from defeat, but from countless battles fought in your name. Do you think I carry these marks for no reason? Every strike that landed on me could have landed on you. But I stood in the way. Now I am telling you, there is a strike scheduled for tomorrow at 9:31 p.m. If you are not where heaven says to be, I will not be standing between you and it. That is why my voice shakes, not from fear of the enemy, but from knowing what happens when a child of God is outside of heaven's alignment. God says, "This is the third time I have sent this warning." 3 is the number of completion. This is the last one. I am not saying this to scare you. I am saying it to awaken you. You are loved more than you can understand. I will not leave you without a chance to escape. But you must take the chance now. Michael's expression hardens, not toward you, but toward what he sees approaching. It is already moving. The enemy's plan is in motion right now. Just because you cannot see it does not mean it is not coming. I have watched them study your habits, your locations, your relationships. I have seen them choose 9:31 p.m. tomorrow because they believe it is the perfect moment when your guard will be down. But you can reverse everything by obeying heaven's instruction tonight. You can shift out of their aim completely. If you believe in God, type Amen. Shakes even the foundations of the heavens. You must listen carefully, for what is being whispered into your spirit at this very moment is not a simple message. It is the final thread holding back a flood that could sweep away all you have known. The words you are reading are not by chance. They are divinely placed in your hands because the hour is later than you think and the warnings have been given twice before. This is the third and final time Archangel Michael will stand before you and plead, not with a whisper, but with the full cry of heaven that you take action before it is too late. Tomorrow at 9:31 p.m., the line between what you know and what is about to be unleashed will snap. And if you do nothing, if you hesitate, if you scroll past this as though it were just another passing wind, you will awaken to a reality you cannot undo. Do not tell yourself you will have another chance. Do not tell yourself this is something you can ponder later. Later does not exist for you in this matter. God has allowed this moment, right here and now, to reach your heart before the time strikes because He sees the storm forming over your life, a storm you do not yet see, but one that has already been set in motion. A hand you cannot see has been pulling strings in secret, arranging events like a chessboard around you, moving pieces quietly while you have been focused on your daily routines. The enemy has been subtle, but tonight, heaven refuses to remain silent any longer. You are being told to pack your bags, not in fear, but in readiness. This is not a vacation. This is not an escape to run away. This is a divine evacuation from a place, a situation, and a spiritual trap that has been tightening its grip around you for months. The danger is not only physical, it is also spiritual, and it carries a weight of eternal consequence. The appointed hour is tomorrow at exactly 9:31 p.m., and heaven is giving you the coordinates, the time frame, and the clear command because there will be no room for delay once that moment arrives. Archangel Michael is not simply asking you, he is standing in your path, sword drawn, eyes blazing, saying this is the last time he will repeat himself. His voice trembles with the heaviness of what he knows is coming. He has fought battles for you in realms you cannot see. He has deflected arrows meant to pierce your heart, cut down chains meant to hold your spirit captive, and stood guard at your door while evil walked past it in the shadows of night. But this is different. This is the one battle you must step into with your own feet because heaven cannot force you to obey. God himself says, this message is our last hope to save you. Imagine the weight of those words. The Creator who formed the stars, who carved valleys and raised mountains, who breathed life into your body, he says this is his last hope to save you. That is how critical this moment is. This is not about superstition. This is not about coincidence. This is divine intervention, and it is being offered to you like a lifeline. If you let it pass, heaven will respect your free will, but the consequences will be unbearable. You may be wondering, what could possibly happen tomorrow at 9:31 p.m.? Why such a specific time? God has chosen to reveal just enough to awaken you, but not so much that the enemy can twist it to his advantage. There are conversations happening in hidden places, agreements being made, plans being finalized, and your name, your very existence, is part of those discussions. Some are smiling to your face while hiding their real intentions. They are placing you in a position where, if you are not prepared, you will be blindsided by something you cannot fight in the moment. This is why you are being told to act now. Preparation is not panic. Preparation is wisdom. Packing your bags is not a sign of weakness. It is a prophetic act of faith. It is saying, I trust God enough to move when He tells me to move, even if I don't see the full picture yet. The enemy thrives when you doubt yourself, when you tell yourself, maybe I'm overreacting. That doubt is the very tool being used to keep you in place until the trap closes. Archangel Michael's warnings have been ignored twice already. The first time you felt a strange unease, like something was pressing against your spirit. You shook it off. The second time, there were signs, unusual disruptions, strange dreams, sudden changes in people's behavior toward you. But again, you told yourself you would deal with it later. Now, there is no later. There is only now or never. God is sending this message not to frighten you, but to shield you. His love is the reason for this urgency. His mercy is the reason He is still speaking, even when He could have stepped back and allowed you to learn by loss. But his heart aches at the thought of you walking blindly into something that could destroy what he has been building in your life. He sees the enemy's blueprint. He sees the meeting scheduled in secret rooms. He sees the travel of someone toward your location, carrying not a gift, but a hidden agenda. He sees the phone calls exchanged in the dead of night about you. And he sees that at 9:31 p.m. tomorrow, an event will be triggered, small in appearance, but massive in impact that will set off a chain reaction in your life. That moment is already on the clock. You cannot stop it from happening, but you can control whether it harms you or passes over you. When Michael says, "Pack your bags," he means you must spiritually and physically separate yourself from the place of impact. This could mean removing yourself from a location, cutting off communication with someone, or refusing to attend an event you were planning to be at. It could mean canceling a meeting, changing a travel plan, or even declining an invitation that looks harmless but is not. God will show you exactly what this means for you if you will stop, pray, and truly listen. But you must decide now, not tomorrow morning, not an hour before, but now, whether you believe this is for you. God says it is, and He does not waste words. The danger is unexpected because it will not come in the way your mind predicts. It will not announce itself with flashing lights. It will feel normal until it is too late. That is why He is giving you forewarning. The word dangerous is not used lightly here. It refers not only to potential harm to your body, but to something that could strip away your peace, your stability, your resources, or even your reputation. This is not something you can simply fix after it happens. The enemy has designed it so that once it begins, it will snowball quickly. That is why the warning is this urgent. God says, please don't skip this. This is no joke. Open it immediately. Even now, there are forces trying to distract you to make you think this message is too long to read or too intense to be real. That's exactly what they want. They want you to be too tired, too busy, too doubtful to take it seriously. But your spirit knows. Deep down, you feel the truth in this. You feel the trembling in your soul because heaven is pressing on you to understand, this is it. Archangel Michael is standing in full armor, wings wide, blocking the path ahead. He is looking at you, not with anger, but with the kind of desperation a protector feels when he knows the one he guards is in immediate danger. He says, "Child of God, I have fought for you, but I cannot take this step for you. Move now. Do not wait. Do not ignore me again." God's eyes are on you this very moment. His voice is still speaking in the depths of your spirit, and the Holy Spirit is already revealing to you the specific actions you must take. You will not have to guess, but you must respond. Heaven is watching your choice. This message is your turning point. If you obey, you will be lifted out of the reach of what is coming. You will look back on tomorrow night and say, if I had been there, if I had gone through with that plan, my life would have been different forever, and not in a good way. But instead, you will be preserved. You will see God's hand shield you, and you will know it was because you listened when it mattered most. If you disobey, heaven will not stop loving you, but the consequences will not be held back. God is just. He will allow the results of ignoring His voice, not as punishment, but as the natural result of choosing your own way over his. And once the clock strikes 9:31 p.m., there will be no going back to change it. My child, take this message seriously. Begin now. Prepare. Remove yourself from harm's path. Pray without distraction. Ask God for clarity and follow it without hesitation. Archangel Michael is still here, but the clock is ticking. This is your last and final warning. God says, my child, do not take these words lightly. This is not a casual message. This is not an ordinary moment. This is urgent. Archangel Michael has been sent with the authority of heaven to speak to you directly. He has already spoken twice before, but now it is the third and final warning. Something unexpected and dangerous is moving closer, so close that it will arrive tomorrow at exactly 9:31 p.m. You cannot afford to ignore this. This is your divine alert. I am speaking because I want to protect you. I am speaking because I see what you cannot see. I am speaking because you are too important to lose. Do not take your time with this. Open your heart fully. Heaven is standing at your door. Archangel Michael says you must prepare. The words "pack your bags" are not just a call to physically leave. They are a spiritual instruction. Pack away the things in your heart that no longer serve you. Remove the fears that keep you bound. Gather your faith, your prayer, your courage, because what is coming requires spiritual readiness. You are stepping into a season where you will have to move quickly. The delay is over. The hesitation must end. You have been warned before, but heaven's patience is now at its limit. You must take this seriously. The danger that approaches is not meant to harm you if you listen. If you follow the instructions, you will be safe. You will be untouched. You